She deals with one natural disaster after another, from tornadoes and hurricanes to storms in her own personal life. Some serious, but some pretty funny. Now we're focusing in with ABC News and Good Morning America's chief meteorologist, Ginger Zee, in her brand new book, Natural Disasters. I cover them. I am one. All right, Ginger, thanks so much for joining us. How are you?
I'm so happy to be here with you guys. Right back in Michigan.
Yeah, well, you know, we love you here. Let's start with that title.
The title is me. It was the easiest thing to write out of the whole book because it encompasses everything that I do. I have been beyond a mess in my personal life, but and a disaster in many ways. But then I've had this unique perspective of being able to be in actual natural disasters and take outstanding perspective from those. And so as they've intertwined throughout my life, I've been lucky enough to have both.
All right, full disclosure, we're friends. You're from Michigan. We worked together many years ago at another TV station here in mid-Michigan. A lot of the stories that you share there, some of them I knew firsthand, some of them I've heard from mutual friends. You pretty much lay it all out on the line, don't you?
You know what? And if you're not going to be candid, then why write a book? Because I really fought the idea of writing a book. I didn't know that I even had a book in me until I started talking about my story and really the fight that I went through with depression. And that's been the thing that has resonated most out of the book with almost everybody that's read it so far. And that's what I ended up writing it to, you know, with the goal of, is to start the conversation and get rid of a stigma that's been surrounding mental health challenges.
And you talk about job struggles, you talk about dating, relationship problems, broken engagements, and you really hit on depression there. You were pretty candid about the fact that you had to check into a hospital right before you started up over at ABC. Sharing that, how difficult was that to actually put that out there?
It was the most difficult line to write because it was the final closure in my healing, in my therapy, really, is just saying it happened. The first step for me was being honest with myself that I needed real help. I needed to get committed to being helped. And I had this job in front of me, and it almost saved my life because I knew I couldn't mess this up. I knew I needed to be here. I needed to be present, and I needed to be the best me. And I wasn't that 10 days before I got to ABC. And so that's why I ended up making that choice, and it was the pivotal point in my life where everything changed for the much better.
And one thing that you really mentioned too, you refer to yourself in this kind of alter ego as big city Ginger, this image that you were trying to live up to at one point. Is that a thing that a lot of people can relate to? Because I think all of us have been through that one way or the other, especially if you work in this industry.
Yeah, and I don't think it has to be it doesn't have to be New York City. You don't have to have Times Square behind you like I do right now. It could be any city. Coming from where we all come from, a lot of places, you don't feel like you fit. And I wanted to fit what I thought that I needed to be. And every time I tried to morph into that other person, every time I tried to go to that next level and, you know, extra class and extra elegance and all that, it's not me. And when I finally allowed myself to just be the man that I am, that's when I had my best and greatest success.
And writing this book, did you really think it was going to be like this? Is this the story that you expected to share, or did it just kind of come out as you were chugging along?
Oh, this book changed so much, and it's like the 8th version. So there are so many versions out there. It's slightly watered down. It's been edited a lot, obviously, but I think it's the stories that need to be told, the ones that will hopefully have some sort of reverberation in people's lives and make a difference for other folks.
And you know what? You definitely share some stories where you name some names and describe some not so pleasant encounters. Have you heard from any of these people who you mentioned in there since the book hit the shelves?
Well, some people I let them know I was writing about them beforehand. Other people I changed some names and changed some chronology just so, because I don't want to hurt anyone. This is my story. This has to do with only me. I don't want to go out there and hurt, but no, nobody else has really reached out. And I don't know if I expect them to, because it's not that I was, again, these are true stories. This is not just my side of the story, and a lot of people could probably corroborate.
Hey, and by the end of the book too, after the storms appear to settle for you, you really get into the idea of gratitude, and you have a lot to be happy about these days. Married now, baby number 2 on the way too, right?
Yes, I've got him right here. He's a big boy. So yeah, I think that's what I finally learned. I finally attached a word to it when I did the show Dancing with the Stars. I was able to finally say to myself, oh, that's what it is that's getting me through these days, is that I have such gratitude from when I left Katrina, and I was so grateful for everything from my shoelaces to, you know, the shorts that I had on. And I was, that word, grateful or gratitude, follows me every single morning. And that's how I start my morning, by thinking of the things that I am so grateful for. And there's no way that you can be upset when you go and start your day that way.
Hey, and also you're back home in Grand Rapids this weekend for a book signing, right?
Yes, I go to Chicago tonight, which is so close to me, and a lot of the story happens there. And then I go to Grand Rapids where it all began, so I can kind of wrap up this wild whirlwind of natural disaster.
Hey, and by the way, you're on the Good Morning America set right now. Where are Robin and George hiding? Where's Michael?
Well, the show just ended. We're going to do some West Coast updates because there's a lot going on with the wildfires. Robin was at the Opry City stage with me. I just ran back here. This is how we go. Everybody's all over the place.
Well, we love watching you. And again, the book Natural Disaster, I cover them. I am one, available now. More information over at abc12.com. And I appreciate the fact that you still return my text messages from time to time.
Of course I do. Mark Jacobson's always a friend.
That's what we like to hear. All right, Ginger Zee, thanks so much for spending some time with us today, and we look forward to the sequel to this book coming up down the road, too.
Yeah, you'll be in that one. That's going to be all about.
You know, I do have to thank you, because you do know stuff about me, and none of it ended up in the book. That's good and bad at the same time. Thank you for that.
Do you feel relieved?
All right, Ginger, have a great weekend.
Okay, take care.